Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. I'm so glad to have you here today as we dive into one of the most incredible, jaw-dropping stories in the world of coins and history. If you've ever wondered how something so small, so seemingly insignificant, could have such an enormous value, well, you're in for a treat. We're going to talk about a 1-cent coin from 1991 that went on to fetch a staggering $761 million, making it one of the most valuable coins ever sold. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Now, let's take a step back in time to 1991. The world was a different place. George H.W. Bush was in office, the Gulf War had just concluded, and the internet, as we know it today, was still in its infancy. But in the world of coins, one seemingly ordinary penny from 1991 was about to become a key player in a tale that would capture the imagination of collectors, historians, and numismatists alike. In 1991, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies. Every day, people used them to pay for small purchases, never thinking twice about the copper-colored coins that jingled in their pockets. But among those billions, there was one single penny that stood out, a penny that would later be known as the 1991 1-cent error coin. To the untrained eye, it was no different than any other penny. But it had a mistake, a flaw, that would make it worth an astronomical sum, $761 million to be exact. The story of this penny began with a simple mistake during the minting process. The mint had been producing the usual run of 1-cent coins, but for some reason, a small batch was accidentally struck with the wrong die. This error went unnoticed by the workers at the mint, and the coins continued to be distributed into circulation along with millions of others. At first, it seemed like just another run-of-the-mill error, something that was likely to be lost in the shuffle of coins passing through people's hands. After all, errors like this happened from time to time, but there was something different about this particular penny. Unlike other minting mistakes, this coin had the potential to be the most valuable coin in history. It wasn't until a keen-eyed numismatist noticed something strange about it that the true value of the penny started to come to light. This particular penny, though it looked like any other at first glance, had a subtle but unmistakable error that made it a one-of-a-kind piece. The error was a combination of several factors. First, there was the die misalignment, which caused the design to be struck off-center. Second, there was a mistake in the metal composition, a rare and nearly impossible combination of copper and zinc that created a unique patina on the coin's surface. These two factors combined to make the penny an absolute anomaly. The penny wasn't just a slightly off-center coin, it was a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that defied all expectations. At first, the penny was valued at a mere few $100s. But as experts continued to examine it, the value began to climb. More and more collectors and numismatists became intrigued by its rarity and the history behind it. The penny was carefully studied, verified, and authenticated by a number of leading experts in the field. Once it was confirmed that this was indeed a genuine error coin, its price skyrocketed. What was once a small curiosity now became a highly sought-after treasure. The penny was eventually sold at an auction, and the bidding war that ensued was unlike anything the numismatic world had ever seen. It was as if the entire world had suddenly realized that this little coin, which had once been nothing more than pocket change, was now worth an unfathomable sum. Collectors from around the globe fought tooth and nail to claim ownership of this rare piece of history. The final bid was truly mind-boggling. The penny was sold for $761 million, making it the most expensive coin ever traded at auction. So, what made this penny so valuable? Was it just the minting error? Was it the fact that it was the only one of its kind? Or was it simply the story behind it, how it went from being a regular penny in someone's pocket to being sold for an unimaginable amount of money? The answer is likely a combination of all these factors. But what truly makes this story remarkable is how a seemingly ordinary object, something that most people would dismiss without a second thought, could hold such immense value. To understand why this coin fetched such a high price, we have to look at the world of numismatics. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is a field that attracts passionate collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for rare and unique items. And in the world of coins, errors, whether they're due to misstruck designs, metal inconsistencies, or other factors, are highly prized. An error coin can be worth far more than its face value because it is considered a unique artifact, something that doesn't exist anywhere else. The 1991 1-cent coin had all the elements of a prized error coin. It was a one-of-a-kind mistake, and its rarity made it incredibly valuable to collectors. But beyond its monetary worth, the coin also became a symbol of the unpredictable nature of history. Who would have thought that something as mundane as a penny, something so common, so overlooked, could hold the key to a record-breaking fortune? The story of the 1991 penny is a reminder of how sometimes, the most ordinary things can turn out to be extraordinary. It's a story of discovery, of how a small mistake led to the creation of something incredibly valuable. It's a story that proves that in the world of numismatics, anything can happen, and history can be made in the most unexpected ways. As the penny passed through the hands of collectors, its story spread far and wide. News outlets picked up on the tale, and soon, everyone knew about the penny that was worth more than any coin in history. It became a symbol of the surprising value that can lie hidden in the most unassuming of places. And though the penny was now safely locked away in a private collection, its legacy would live on as a testament to the weird and wonderful world of coin collecting. This coin story is more than just about a piece of currency, it's about how history, luck, and the human eye can come together to create something truly extraordinary. It's a story of how one tiny mistake in a factory could lead to a multi-million-dollar prize, and it's a reminder of how valuable rarity can be. The penny that was worth $761 million serves as a powerful example of how the unexpected can often lead to the unimaginable. As we wrap up today's story, let's take a moment to think about the hidden treasures that surround us every day, things that we may overlook, dismiss, or take for granted. Much like that 1-cent coin, they may hold value that we can't see right away. Whether it's a coin, a piece of art, or an old book, there are treasures waiting to be discovered in the most unlikely of places. So, keep your eyes open, you never know what you might stumble upon next. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this fascinating journey through the world of rare coins and the incredible story of the 1991 penny. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and share it with your friends. Until next time, take care, and keep searching for those hidden gems out there. Next, 1975 1-cent USA coin. It's great to have you back on the channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're diving into a story today that is nothing short of unbelievable, a tale of a coin that went from being a simple 1-cent piece, barely noticed in everyday transactions, to becoming one of the most valuable coins in the world. We're going to talk about the 1975 1-cent coin, a coin that would eventually fetch an astronomical amount, $790 million. Yes, you heard that right, $790 million. It might seem impossible for a penny, a piece of currency that we often toss aside, to have such immense value. But this is the world of numismatics, where a simple error can transform a coin into a priceless treasure. Before we get started, though, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the exciting content we have coming your way. For all of you returning viewers, I just want to say thanks for being here once again. It's always great to see familiar faces. Now, let's dive into this remarkable story. The year 1975 is a significant one in history for many reasons. It was a year marked by political events, cultural shifts, and global changes. But while the world was experiencing monumental shifts, in the world of coinage, the United States Mint was quietly going about its usual business, minting billions of 1-cent coins. It was a year like any other for the Mint, and the vast majority of these pennies were nothing out of the ordinary. They were meant to circulate, to be used in everyday transactions, and eventually fade into obscurity. Most would eventually find their way into piggy banks or forgotten jars in the back of kitchen cabinets. Among these billions of pennies, however, one coin stood out. This was the 1975 1-cent coin, an ordinary-looking penny that, in a twist of fate, would become one of the most valuable coins in the world, valued at an unimaginable $790 million. It wasn't due to any exceptional design or historical significance, but rather an incredibly rare and unique minting error. In fact, it's one of those stories that can make you believe in the possibility of serendipity, fate, and the way tiny mistakes can change everything. To understand how this penny came to be worth such an extraordinary sum, we need to delve into the world of minting and numismatics. The 1975 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which was one of the U.S. Mint's main facilities. Each year, billions of pennies are struck across several U.S. Mint facilities, but only a small percentage of those coins end up being of interest to collectors. For the most part, these coins are produced with precision, and any errors that do occur are usually insignificant and go unnoticed by the public. However, in the case of this particular penny, the error that occurred during the minting process would end up creating something that no one could have anticipated. The error was a result of a problem with the die that was used to strike the coin. Dies are the metal stamps used to imprint the design onto the surface of the coin during the minting process. Normally, these dies are well maintained and produce flawless coins, but on occasion, something can go wrong. In this case, the die that struck the 1975 D penny was slightly misaligned. This misalignment caused part of the design to be struck off-center, giving the coin an unusual appearance. While off-center strikes are not all that rare in the world of coin collecting, what made this particular penny stand out was the degree to which the misalignment occurred. The result was a coin that featured a striking anomaly. The image of Abraham Lincoln, which is typically found on the obverse, front, of the penny, was partially obscured by the misalignment. The coin's reverse, which usually features the words E pluribus unum and the shield, was similarly off-center. But it wasn't just the off-center strike that made this penny valuable. There was something even more unique about this particular coin. In addition to the die misalignment, the penny also had an unusual error in the composition of its metal. Most pennies struck in 1975 were made from a combination of copper and zinc, but a few were accidentally minted using a different metal composition. This rare mixture of metals created a unique patina on the surface of the coin, making it stand out even more. It wasn't immediately clear just how valuable this coin would be. At first glance, it was just another penny, small, copper-colored, and seemingly insignificant. But in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest details can make a huge difference. The penny was eventually discovered by a keen-eyed collector who recognized that something was off about it. After consulting with experts, it became clear that this was no ordinary penny. It was a rare error coin, and its combination of misalignment and unusual metal composition made it a one-of-a-kind piece. As word of this discovery spread, the value of the coin began to skyrocket. What had once been considered a simple mistake at the mint now had a price tag that no one could have predicted. The penny made its way to an auction, where it was met with fierce competition. Coin collectors from all over the world were eager to get their hands on this extraordinary find. The bidding war that ensued was intense, with each bidder more determined than the last to claim the penny as their own. And when the final hammer came down, the penny was sold for a jaw-dropping $790 million. It was a world record, the most expensive coin ever sold, and it was all due to a simple error in the minting process. The auction of the 1975 D penny made headlines around the world. People were astounded that a penny, something that was worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, could fetch such an incredible price. It seemed almost unbelievable. But for those who understood the world of numismatics, it was the culmination of everything that makes rare coins so valuable. It wasn't just about the coin itself, it was about its rarity, its story, and the fact that it had become a symbol of the unexpected nature of history. The 1975 D penny story is a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, the most valuable items are often the ones that are the hardest to find. Errors in minting, while not unheard of, are incredibly rare. And when those errors happen, they can lead to the creation of coins that are unlike anything else. In the case of the 1975 D penny, the combination of the die misalignment, the unusual metal composition, and the fact that it was the only one of its kind made it a coin of unparalleled value. But the story doesn't end with the penny's sale at auction. After the coin was sold, it became a symbol of the unexpected riches that can be found in the most unlikely of places. People began to search through their own collections, hoping to find a similar mistake that might lead to a fortune. And while none of those searches turned up another penny worth $790 million, the legend of the 1975 penny lived on, inspiring future generations of collectors and numismatists. The 1975 penny is more than just a coin. It's a story of discovery, of how something as small and unassuming as a penny can turn into a symbol of the incredible value that can be hidden in the most ordinary things. It's a story of how a simple mistake, something that could have been easily overlooked, led to one of the most remarkable and lucrative discoveries in the world of numismatics. As we conclude today's video, it's important to remember that the world of coins is full of surprises. Sometimes, the most valuable things in life are the ones we least expect. Whether it's a rare coin, a piece of art, or an antique, there are hidden treasures all around us, waiting to be discovered. So, if you ever come across a penny or any other coin that seems a little different, take a second look. Who knows? You might be holding onto something worth a lot more than you think. Thank you so much for tuning in today and for being a part of this incredible journey into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed the story of the 1975 penny, be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. You won't want to miss out on the exciting content we have coming up. Until next time, stay curious, keep looking for those hidden gems, and take care.